Hey fam, welcome to Babbling Tat. I'm your host Tat, and this is the show where we talk about everything. Healing, mental health, growth, and all the messy, wonderful stuff in between. I want to start off by saying thank you for being here, wherever you are and whatever you're doing right now. Thank you for choosing to spend this time with me. Today, I want to talk about two really powerful ideas that feel especially relevant this time of year. One, letting go of the version that you created just to survive. Two, giving yourself permission to live authentically, exactly as you are, right here, right now. A few episodes ago, we talked about giving yourself permission and writing permission slips for yourself. If you haven't heard that one yet, I encourage you to check it out because today we're building on that idea in a deeper and a more personal way. Let's start with this, survival mode. It's something so many of us know, unfortunately, very intimately. That version of you that stepped up when life was hard, the version that protected you, that kept you safe and helped you push through every sunrise and every sunset. Let me just say this. There's nothing wrong with survival mode. It very much serves a purpose. But here's the hard truth. What helps us survive is not always what will help us thrive. And there's a quote that I want to share with you that says it quite perfectly. I had to lose myself completely in order to heal myself and truly find myself. Who I had become to survive had to die so that my true nature could flower and guide me towards a life of knowing, loving, and respecting myself deeply. Now, take a moment to think about that, and I'll say it one more time. I had to lose myself completely in order to heal myself and truly find myself. Who I had become to survive had to die so that my true nature could flower and guide me towards a life of knowing, loving, and respecting myself. For me, I realized that this process of losing myself was less about destruction and more about transformation. It was a necessary shedding of who I had been so that I could uncover who I was actually meant to become. I had to completely let go of who I thought I was in order to become who I'm actually meant to be. Like a caterpillar entering a cocoon, I had to surrender to the messy, to the uncertain, and the vulnerable goop phase of transformation. Who I had been, that version of me that worked so hard just to survive, had to dissolve so that my true self could emerge, free and whole, like a beautiful butterfly. Now, what does that mean for you? For me, it's about letting go of control and embracing the discomfort of change. Like the caterpillar, I clung to my old ways of being, even when they no longer served me. The transformation demanded that I trust the process, even when I felt like everything was falling apart. And it feels like that a lot. And I see this in so many of us. We hold on to old identities, afraid of the unknown, but it's in that surrender that we truly become who we're meant to be. So I want to pause here and ask you, what did survival mode look like for you? What roles did you take on? What habits or thought patterns became your go-to to survive the day? For some, it's being the fixer, person who always steps in to solve everyone else's problems. For others, it's being the overachiever, constantly striving for perfection. And for some, shutting down emotionally, becoming numb to avoid the pain. For some, all the above. Sometimes letting go of survival mode feels like losing a part of yourself. And you'll grieve that version of you, but it's not the end. It's a transformation. It's another piece of your journey. It's you stepping into your true nature, the version of you that knows how to love, respect, and to care for yourself deeply, that will acknowledge that survival mode of you that got you to where you are today. Ask yourself this, what am I still carrying that I no longer need? Is there a belief, habit, or even a role that you've outgrown, but are just afraid to let go of? If this resonates, commit to one small thing this week that you can release. Maybe it's saying no to something that drains you. Maybe it's giving yourself a break instead of pushing through. You are not losing yourself. You're finding yourself. Now, here's where it gets even more personal. Once we let go of survival mode, we're faced with this big, intimidating, scary question. What now? This is where self-permission comes in. Because no one else can give you the peace, joy, or self-respect that you're searching for. That is something only you can grant yourself. There's another beautiful quote that sums it up just perfect. If you don't let rejection or fear stop you from being true to yourself or from doing what you love, you will find peace, joy, and self-respect. The external recognition, approval, and validation we seek is the subconscious cry for us to fully acknowledge our own worth and to stop rejecting our true self. That one's a heavy hitter. So many of us are waiting for someone else to validate us. Maybe it's approval from a partner, recognition at work, or likes on social media. But that validation is just a stand-in for what we really need, to see and accept our own worth. I've been there, chasing external validation like it was the missing piece. And the truth, even when I got the validation I was craving, still didn't fill that void. What I really needed was to give myself permission to feel even worthy, to feel enough. And like everything else, this isn't just a one-time thing. It's a choice you have to make every single day. A choice to say, I am enough, right here, right now, exactly as I am. Let me ask you, what does self-permission look like for you? Is it permission to rest, to dream, to express yourself fully without fear of judgment? Take a moment to visualize what your life would look like if you gave yourself full permission to be unapologetically you. What would change? How would you feel every day? This week, I want to challenge you to take one bold step toward being true to yourself. Maybe it's starting that project you've been putting off, setting a boundary, or even just looking in the mirror and saying, I am proud of you. Letting go of survival mode and giving yourself permission to just... These aren't easy things to do, but they're the foundation of a life that feels peaceful, joyful, meaningful. And remember, this is a journey. It takes time and practice. Some days will feel easier than others, and that's okay. What matters is that you show up for yourself every single day, even in the small ways. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. You are not defined by your past or your struggles. You are defined by the choices you make today and the love you show yourself along the way. You've got this, and if you ever doubt it, know that I believe in you, even on the days that you don't believe in yourself. Until next time, remember, we stick together, we heal together. The world really is a better place with you here in it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, it would mean the world to me if you shared it with a friend or shared it on your socials and tagged me in the show. Drop a comment to let me know what connected with you the most. I'd love to hear from you and what you'd like to hear next. And if you haven't gotten to it just yet, I'd really appreciate it if you left a review for the show. Connect with the podcast directly on Instagram at Babbling Tat Podcast or connect with me at xxtatqueenxx. You can also visit my website, tatscorner.com, for more resources, info about P3, shop, read the blog, or just to stay connected. All the links are down in the description. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you again for tuning in. I'll catch you on the flip side.